love in general is the answer to everything, and that goes through the entire ring.
Wagner seems to have been intrigued by this conflict or possible sort of resolution between love and power. The ring, as I see it, represents power. It's something that's made that represents order in the universe because of the perfect circle. And yet there's this idea that wherever it goes, it causes chaos, calamity, destruction. And then anybody who owns it, who wears it, is doomed.
The ring cycle is a piece of work about gods and the family of the gods. And yet all these gods have so much humanity. I mean, Wotan really could be seen as the ultimate villain of the piece.
Wotan is the leader of the gods, the supreme ruler of all things, has this incredible thirst for knowledge, thirst for power.
Wotan is intoxicated by the power of the gold and by the idea of building Valhalla, of being this great heroic god.
The fascinating thing about Wotan is that he's the absolute encapsulation of the god who is with human attributes. They may be gods and they may seem to rule the world and the universe, but in fact they have vulnerability. There is possibly an end in sight to their power.
If it's a big heroine in the entire ring, it's Brunhilde. Because she is directed almost all the way of love, as opposed to greed for power and gold and hatred and all that stuff that makes the world fall to pieces.
Brunhilde is a different kettle of fish. Wotan describes her as having her mother's characteristics. Erda, her mother, is the world's wisest woman, and Brunhilde has inherited this wisdom from her mother. And because of that, she's Wotan's favourite child. Yes, she's a Valkyrie, which involves bringing fallen soldiers back from the battlefield and raising them up to Valhalla to build his army. But he entrusts her with a lot of personal things as well. She can talk to him like no one else can. He's the head of the gods, but she can talk to him almost as an equal.
And there's no doubt that Brunhilde is number one daughter in his mind. She is the apple of his eye. She can do nothing wrong, which of course makes it incredibly more poignant later on when he's got to say goodbye to her.
The last scene of Die Walküre, which is one of the most powerful parts of the ring, let's face it, and from a musician's point of view, it's definitely one of the favourites. I mean, dramatically, it's intriguing because Brunhilde has disobeyed her father, Wotan, and she puts up the most wonderful, extraordinary defence of her actions. It is absolutely compelling.
You're seeing all of these feelings and emotions that are flashing from these two gods. The father is so angered and is dooming her to this curse.
The force of our arguments talking about their relationship, and most importantly when she starts talking about love, is basically like putting an ice-cold dagger into his heart. I mean, it is extraordinary music, so it's the opportunity for him to talk about their lives together, and in particular, it's all about her eyes. And it's a love song.
You see from her all of the extreme emotion of dealing with giving up the only love and life she's ever known.
Even actually performing it as a performer on the stage, I think we in the orchestra also feel that too.
He takes away her godly powers and isolates her away from everything and puts her to sleep.
It's this dreadful thing for her, becoming a woman. This word, woman, is almost like a swear word to her because she's a god. And it's only when she relinquishes that Gottheit, that divinity, that she realizes that she can love.
And he isn't a god anymore, I don't think. He's a very, very sad old man.
This idea that whether you can have power through love or whether you have to renunciate love in order to have power.
To come through these phases of understanding each layer of this love. It's immense. It's an experience to sing it. And I hope to listen to it, it's that same layering of experience as you go through the ring of learning about this love that Wagner is expressing in his music.